Welcome to the Los Alamitos Weekend Preview here. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, joined by your Los Alamitos track analyst there from the paddock each and every night, Christopher Wade. Christopher, how about last week? Our old friend, Terrific Phoenix, came back flying to get the win.
Yeah, he finally got there for us. He got there. We gave him one last chance for the fourth time in a row, and he finally got there for us there.
Yeah, he was flying there. He galloped out, and I was mentioning on air there on FanDuel that if they ever carded like more 550s or even true 870s for straight quarter horses, he would be like a runner that would love going at 550 and 870. He just gallops out. He wants to run. He's out of that mare, Terrific Energy, which produces a lot of those late closing strides. So a Terrific Phoenix getting the job done there in one of those allowance events last week at Los Alamitos. Speaking about last week, a little bit about the nightcap there, the feature event last week. How about Sergio Morfin and Juan Pablo Leon with a big upset there to end the card on Sunday night?
Yeah, horse ran very, very nicely. It was okay in the trial, but went from the inside to the outside, and the outside always runs well with a clear path in those big races. We've had a number of winners from the 10 in these big quality field events with a clear path expected. Horses on the inside having some trouble, and this horse, big-bodied, long strider, just flew late to get there over price fixture on the rail.
And it was a 23-1 long shot up the interest. Was in the barn of Sergio Morfin. Wins the Adequan California Derby Challenge here at Los Alamitos, taking down the lion's share of the purse of $41,000 on Sunday night at Los Al last week. And I was mentioning the connections because your pick in tonight's preview show is ridden by the same rider, trained by the same barn of those long shot winner last week. So let's take a look all the way to race number 10 on Saturday night. By the way, this weekend, on Sunday night, we're going to have the trials for the Grade 1 Ed Burke Million Futurity. And the trials, they just drew fresh off the presses. The entries are just out as we're recording here on Thursday. So we'll talk about those trials maybe in my segment with Professor G. But you're going to take us to Saturday night, race number 10, the nightcap. You're going for the repeat. These connections won the nightcap last Sunday, Chris. And I know you like here the two, Chiquititas Cartel.
Yeah, Chiquititas Cartel is a horse that's been steadily improving, very, very consistent. Ran pretty well in that recent effort, had some trouble along the way, and was striding out pretty strongly. And with everything factored in, this horse has got my top number there in that finale on Saturday night.
Race 10, 300 yards, a quarter horse allowance. We're going to go with a field of 6 in this spot. You can see DKAA making his return after being a finalist for last year's Ed Burke Million Futurity there back in June of 2022. But let's focus on that replay. Chiquititas Cartel. Here it is. This is going to be April 22nd. And Chiquititas Cartel was on the outside in this field of 5.
Yeah, horse on the outside. Broke slow, kind of back bobbled away from the gate and lost some ground away from the barrier, but was kind of slow in the stride, back bobbled away from the gate and kind of skied out a little bit. Kind of slow in the stride, but has a clear path throughout. Was asked a little bit midway, which starting out pretty well the final half of the affair. But with everything factored in, horns are a pretty solid figure on my charts versus a well-meant winner and runner-up ever. Like galloped out very, very nicely and has a big look at the outcome on my numbers there in the 10th race on Saturday.
Well, the winner of that race was the Hattery, an old friend of yours that you've given out on this show before. He got the job done in that spot. And also the runner-up, I'm a 60 man, returned to win an allowance next time out. So ran third to a couple of sharp horses that night.
Yeah, so he comes out of a very strong race, very productive race. So we think this horse is a big look at the outcome on Saturday on our figures, and we're hoping he gets away clean and runs those numbers there.
All right, so that's going to be Chris's selection. Chiquititas Cartel there in race number 10, 5-1 on Ed Burke Million. That's going to be the nightcap on Saturday night. And again, Chris, perseverance and persistence paid off last week as Terrific Phoenix. So they're going to get the job done. So thank you for that analysis on Chiquititas Cartel. Are you going to be tackling any other simulcast signals there on the?
Oh, yeah, we're very, very busy this weekend. We got races 5 through 9 at Delta Downs. You got the 7 through 11 at Sam Houston. I think it's 8 through 12 at Remington Park. So lots of simulcast being piped in, trying to help you along the way with selections in the Nightline programs and, of course, on the website.
Yep. Check out losalamitos.com for those selections as well. All right, Chris, best of luck with Chiquititas Cartel. I'll see you this weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, bye. You have a good night.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick six carryover or the $10,000 pick six promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, including a $274,000 pool on March 11th and a $205,000 pool on January 7th. The traditional $2 pick six. A great bet, a great deal. Big time wagering opportunities always at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with one of the biggest nights of the year on Sunday, May 28th. It's the trials to the Ed Burke Million Futurity, featuring the top juveniles in quarter horse racing. And what a great lineup of impressive young runners led by recent winners, Favorite City, Boardwalk, Expensive, Stanley Cartel, and so many more. The Ed Burke Million Trials, Sunday, May 28th. The best of quarter horse racing always at Los Alamitos.
Burns Ranch is proud to welcome two-time AQHA champion Golden Boy. He joins multiple stakes winner MP Shining, whose first crop are yearlings, and California champion Middle Error, with foals arriving this year. Proven stallions include Separate Interest, off to a good start in 23.
Allied Interest trying to fend him off. Allied Interest comes through the clock.
And Fly Through the Fire, a top 3 ranked second crop sire. Let Burns Ranch put you in the game.
That's right. Yeah, the pick six has been well received, of course, since we introduced that promo at Los Al. And also, the pick six has been paying well with that big long shot winning last Sunday in the nightcap. And of course, this pick six will be enticing on Sunday night because we've got trials, all 2-year futurity trials in that pick six sequence on Sunday. Welcome back to the program. Now joined by Mike Wrona. Michael, I can't help but notice Manchester United.
Oh, well, mate, I've got to be wearing some Manchester United apparel as we record on this Thursday afternoon because my soccer team just qualified to next season's Champions League with their win today over Chelsea. So I'm feeling very confident and optimistic about next season already. We're on an upward trajectory finally, about a decade after the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson. It's been a very rough, desolate decade, but this is a nice result for the team going forward.
That's good. Good news for sure. And in my household, Casa de los Ponis, my wife is a Chivas de Guadalajara fan. So for the people that follow the Liga MX, which is a top league, soccer league in Mexico, the Chivas just qualified to the final. They're going to be facing off against Tigres in that big final, and they're one of the most popular teams in Mexico. So little AJ wore his first ever Chivas jersey today, thanks to the bankroll manager. She put it on him. I don't have him around to show him to you guys, but he's rocking his first Chivas jersey today. I'm an Necaxa fan, but I got to support the wife and the Chivas as they're heading to the final this week. Actually, we're recording on Thursday. The first game of that 2-game final starts tonight. Chivas against Tigres at 7 p.m. local time on the West Coast. So if you want to watch some Liga MX soccer, check out Chivas Tigres tonight here at 7 p.m. on Thursday. So, awesome. Michael, how about that big long shot winner? I was talking with Christopher Wade. How about 23-1 long shot up the interest, winning the Adequan California Derby Challenge last week at Los Al?
Yeah, the horse showed so much ability early on. Just seemed as though he had lost his way a little bit earlier this year with some, fairly average performances, and just wasn't sure whether he was really heading the right way this season. But I think it was first time Zamudio and the outside gate, and first time Sergio Morfin.
Yes,
and the outside gate, and whatever the angles were that brought the best out of this horse. He ran back to that early promise. And it's another upset stakes win from post position 10.
I was going to mention that. Sometimes just the outside post has been the place to be to avoid trouble and run your best. So another long shot there, winner for that barn. Congrats to Juan Leon, the winning rider. Let's talk about Saturday's card. Also, the entries just came out for the Ed Burke Million Trials on Sunday. And maybe we'll glance at them and talk about a few horses that kind of jump off the page or maybe attract us just glancing at the PP. So we'll talk about a few of those trials coming up. But let's talk about Saturday night. Race number 7 is where you're going to take us to this 300-yard quarter horse maiden event.
Yeah, the 2-year-old fillies. first leg of the late pick 4. And Making Chicks Move for Monte Rosa is my selection. Will come out of gate 2 after having jumped from the rail in each of her starts so far. I liked the debut performance on April 1st from gate 1. It was a good effort, I thought, because in finishing third to Cloudburst and Brindisi, the thing I'd made a note of afterwards is that the first and second from that race brought 2 gate works each into that race on April 1st, whereas Making Chicks Move had only 1 gate work coming into her debut. And she galloped out in front. So I thought that was a tidy performance first up. And then she went into a kindergarten futurity trial on April 23 against one of her chief opponents this Saturday night, Perfect Play.
Yeah, let's take a look at that April 23rd event, which was that futurity trial. And Making Chicks Moves was on the rail. Perfect Play, who will be on the outside of her on Saturday night. Perfect Play was in gate number 4 in this field of 8. So let's focus on 1 and 4, and of course we'll focus more on the 1, Making Chicks Move.
Yes, and she began well. She had every chance. Perfect Play was a little wayward in the opening strides and was involved in some bumping. And she ran on late to just miss out on a minor placing. But you can see the rail filly right up in the hunt all the way. The winner comes down the extreme outside, a horse you liked on that occasion, Attacked.
Yeah, and Attack was traveling well. You can see it was difficult to ride, but also, do you like that Making Chicks Move is now getting off the rail after 2 consecutive starts on the inside?
Yes, I do. Of course, I prefer an even wider draw, but at least she's off the rail. And if you happen to notice just past the finish line in that replay we showed you, she was galloping out on terms with the winner, Attacked. Mm-hmm. She's produced 2 good gallop outs, and I've thought that her efforts have been professional from the inside draw both times. And I've got a slight preference for her over Perfect Play, who's just been a little bit wayward at the start of each of her races. And that's despite a flipping holder. So the professional nature of these performances from Making Chicks Move makes me think she's pretty tough to beat on Saturday night.
She draws there in gate number 2, like we mentioned. First 2 starts were from the rail, so maybe switching off the rail could help her get a better beginning and be a little bit more alert. As she's got a few runners. Actually, she's got that runner immediately on the outside of her, which is Perfect Play, and they exit the same common event in that spot. So that's going to be race number 7, 300 yards, and Making Chicks Move is the slight 5-2 morning line choice in that field of 8.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get rolling and have the first winner of the late pick 4, and then Chris hopefully can wrap it up with race 10, and we can somehow bookend the late pick 4 on Saturday.
I like that. So I'm going to quickly bring in the PPs, well, the early draft PPs. These are not the final PPs, but just the entries of Sunday night's Ed Burke Million trials. It is, we do have 10 trials. So all the entire card is going to be trials for the Ed Burke Million Futurity. Here they are. They're all trials. So all straightaways going 350 yards, the top 10 fastest times of the night will advance to that very prestigious and important final, which will be contested on Father's Day on Sunday, June 18th. So here they are, 10 trials, Michael. And a quick glance at these trials. Anything that kind of attracted your attention looking at these entries?
Yeah, just scanning through some of these fields. In race 5, Jose, we see a rematch between Favourite City, who won on debut from the rail and has gate 1 again, a $235,000 purchase from the dam of apolitical pence, and Alice Kane, who cost $140,000 and has gate number 6. Wasn't much between them in, I thought, a very good quality maiden last time out. So interesting that they're knocking heads again in the same trial to the Ed Burke Million Futurity. And in the following race, Jose, we see the horse that we spoke about last week in the wake of the kindergarten futurity, and we were wondering whether Just a Fooler might come back on the quick turnaround into these Ed Burke Million Futurity trials. And by golly, there he is, gate number 5, against Expensive, one of the horses that I picked on this show who won on debut very impressively, sibling to Eye on the Sky. So that to me is another very intriguing race.
And we kind of, we actually mentioned that if we thought one of the runners that could wheel back from that would be this guy, because he didn't use a lot of energy because he was finishing right, galloping out after not breaking all that cleanly. The last two starts, actually. And then he also looked like he just wanted more distance. So if there was one horse that really should be able to get the extra 50 yards right very, very nicely, it will be Justin Fuller. Now, what will the quick turnaround do? Then we'll just have to find out there on Sunday night in race number 6.
Yeah, but he's going to eat up the extra distance. This is the time that the juveniles get to step up for the first time to 350 yards from 300. And it's certainly going to play to Justin Fuller's strengths, and probably expensive as well, for that matter. In race 8, we see Political Rivalry lining up. Now, this was a horse who qualified for the Kindergarten Futurity trial, but scratched from the final.
Yeah, and I believe had the rail right in the final. Yeah, he had the rail in the final. Yeah, and then was scratch out of there.
Yeah, one of the several horses for Keith Nellison and Heath Taylor who qualified. So whatever was the problem that ruled this horse out of the Kindergarten final 2 weeks ago, clearly it was a minor blip, because Political Rivalry lines up against Boardwalk and Talk About Something, who were only a head apart on debut. Talk About Something's had a run since, winning. Boardwalk's been kept fresh and makes start number 2 in this trial Saturday night. So some really promising horses to knock heads in race 8.
Yeah, and that's a wrap up the last two here. Race number 9. You can see Dynasty is the only one, actually 2 runners that are exiting. Actually, no, Dynasty is the only one exited a win. The 3 was a debut winner, My Kind of Lover, and then My Favorite Butter was a Futurity finalist at Turf Paradise after winning that trial. So that's a field of 7 in that race number 9. And then race number 10.
Market Analyst, Matt. Another one of the picks that I was able to get home for the viewers of this preview show. This horse out of the dam of Mornings with Maria, and it was a nice piece of work on debut from Market Analyst.
Yeah, and visually impressive. Looked like she wanted more distance, so she's going to be, I would imagine, the expected morning lane favorite in that spot because of the margin of victory and the clocking that she put up. So she's expected to be favored in race number 10. So 10 trials on Sunday. Top 10 fastest of the night will advance to that final. Again, the final is scheduled for Father's Day later on in June, exactly June 18th. That'll be the Ed Burke Million Futurity final, our second major futurity of the season at Los Alamitos. I can't help but notice a different background behind you, Michael. Where are you located? Where are you coming to us this week?
Reporting from beautiful South Lake Tahoe, Jose, and I'm disappointed to learn that you've never been to this beautiful part of the world. And by the way, neither has our esteemed morning line maker. I hope that both you and Ed can find your way up to Lake Tahoe sometime soon, because it's a favorite getaway spot for Kathy and me. And I actually tweeted a little sunset video from the lakeshore yesterday. At the same time I was down watching nature, Kathy was scoring a jackpot or 2 in the casino. So in different ways, we both had a very enjoyable evening.
It was a profitable night for the household there, both in sunsets and jackpots. So I can't wait to pick Kathy's brain once we meet up at Burghart's and talk about those jackpots that we scored. All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day down there at Lake Tahoe, and I'll see you this weekend at Los Al.
I assure you she won't be shy in talking about it to you, or anybody else for that matter. Good on you, mate.
Thank you, Michael.
Around.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick six carryover or the $10,000 pick six promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, including a $274,000 pool on March 11th and a $205,000 pool on January 7th. The traditional $2 pick six, a great bet, a great deal, big time wagering opportunities, always at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with one of the biggest nights of the year on Sunday, May 28th. It's the trials to the Ed Burke Million Futurity, featuring the top juveniles in quarter horse racing. And what a great lineup of impressive young runners led by recent winners, Favorite City, Boardwalk, Expensive, Stanley Cartel, and so many more. The Ed Burke Million Trials, Sunday, May 28th. The best of quarter horse racing, always at Los Alamitos.
Burns Ranch is proud to welcome two-time AQHA champion Golden Boy. He joins multiple stakes winner MP Shining, whose first crop are yearlings, and California champion Middle Error, with foals arriving this year. Proven stallions include Separate Interest, off to a good start in 23.
Delight Interest trying to fend him off. Delight Interest comes through in the clutch.
And Fly Through the Fire, a top 3 ranked second crop sire. Let Burns Ranch put you in the game.
One is Rocking with Energy. Two is Warrior Soul. Eight is Ready for It. Five is Remember John. Four is Twice Over. Six will be Cabbage on Cash. Seven is Flash Dash. And the 3 will be Raya. All right, Ready for It is Cervantes, Flash Dance is Cruz, Cabbage on Cash is Lopez, Remember John is Ayala, Twice Over is Rodrigo, Reyes Viramontes, Warrior Soul is Peinado, Rocking with Energy is Lopez. Armando, yep, and he stays where?
On the 1.
The 1. So Jesse gets the shot. Cervantes, Mendez, Gonzalez, Ayala, Aceves, Viramontes, Peinado, and Lopez ship it.
And that right there is how the pozole, the gumbo, the tamales is made. They're a little bit into the look in the racing office. Professor G, welcome to the program. Thank you for getting us those sights and sounds of the draw for the very first trial for the Ed Burke Million Futurity.
That's right, Jose. We're going to have 10 trials on Sunday night. 78 juveniles will be in action in those 10 trials. And we're ready for the Ed Burke Million Futurity. And like what you just saw was the draw of the first trial of 10. Nate Estrada, our assistant racing secretary there at Los Alamitos, handling the festivities, the action there of the draw. You saw Scott Willoughby. He's the one that's pulling the pills. That's the post position. And then trainer Jose Flores, he's the one pulling the cards, the horses' names. So Jose Flores will pull the name of the horse, and that will go with whatever post position Scott Willoughby puts together. Now, Nate spends about an hour kind of sorting all the horses out. So if, for example, Jose Flores, I believe he said he has like 15 horses in these trials, Nate will make sure that every trial has at least one Jose Flores horse. In a couple of races, we'll have a couple of Jose Flores horses. And he'll do that with every single trainer that has more than one horse. They'll kind of spread them out. So there's a big system in kind of getting those horses put together. And before they even do that draw, there's another draw to determine which will be race number 1, and then which one is going to be race number 2, and so forth. And then they'll start this particular course where they'll decide each trial their post position. So kind of had a chance to hang out there, watch the whole entire process this afternoon. Lots of fun there just to hear the names out. See, there's every once in a while a jockey might have ridden a horse, more than one horse that's in this race, and then you got to figure out, okay, who's going to pick up this mount. We'll see a little bit of that happening in one of the future videos that I will be showing during this preview show, Jose.
Yeah, thank you for getting us those sights and sounds. Always fun to enjoy those sights and sounds. And let's see if we can bring up the piece PPs here so we can show you some of the things that, some of the where the horses drew there as we're kind of just looking at the video for the first trial. We heard Rocket with Energy, War is So, Rhea, Here It Is, Twice Over, Remember John, Caballon Cash, Flash Dash, and Ready for It. And again, to recap, Professor, we have 10 trials this Sunday night.
Yeah, most of the races will have 8 horses in there. A couple of them will have 7. And right off the bat, we always see that maybe a couple of qualifiers come out of the first or second trial. I think from the opening trial, Ready for It is already a top candidate. If everything goes well for this horse, if he delivers a fast effort and a fast race, he could be in line there for one of the top qualifying times here on the Night of Trials. Ready for It out of a very nice mare, Up For It, who won the Governor's Cup Futurity here at Los Alamitos. And Junior's quarter horses paid $162,000 for Ready for It. And the gelding responded by winning his debut by a head back on May the 6th. And now we'll be headlining the opening trial here to the Ed Burke Million, Jose.
And I believe this makes this one from the family Up and Atom, right? Out of Up For It, Up and Atom. And Junior's quarter horses, they've been a big fan and big buyers of the Doc Allred consignment. They've been past sales. I know they've gone to high prices for foals out of Quirky. So now they got one from out of Up For It. Junior's quarter horses well represented in the first trial of the night. Second trial, I remember all trials that are 350 yards. This one with a field of 8 here.
Yeah, and remember as well that every single one of these horses has had at least one start. So we've seen these horses run at least once. We have some shippers in from Arizona and some other places, Remington Park. There's some shippers there from Remington Park as well. And several of those shippers have posted gate works here at Los Alamitos. So if you want to see how these horses kind of handle the racing surface here at Los Al, there's several of them that posted works during the morning here at Los Al, especially gate works. Kevin's Weiss Corona has got to be the top name in race number 2. We saw how impressive he was in his morning drills, and now he'll draw post number 4 here in race number 2. Several other horses that have performed well here at Los Al. Mr. Cartel Jess, a horse that sold for $120,000 at the Heritage Place sale, a favorite Cartel colt. He's also in this race. Just Watcher ran second as the big favorite got upset there by Bella Hunting. Bella Hunting is also part of the Ed Burke trials. That will be part of this card. So there's a look at race number 2, the second trial.
I'm looking forward to the improvement of Just Watcher, a horse that I thought could definitely had some talent and should be able to improve second time out. Third trial, here's the field of 8. Professor, was all in on Attack on trials night. I'm concerned about the inside draw now for Attack, but he showed plenty of talent in that Futurity trial win back on April 23rd.
Both times this horse has shown a lot of early speed. Again, from the rail, has never run this close to the rail before. Drew post 8 first out, Drew post 5 second out, but did win from the outside post there for Oscar Parra and trainer Valentin Zamudio. How about the 3, Stanley Cartel, a tremendous family here for owner Witona Stanley. This breeding line goes back decades. With big names all throughout the breeding line for Stanley Cartel. And the horse won by a half a length in a pretty good time, 15:71 at 300 yards. And now draws post number 3. Teller Perry MRL. Harris Portofino has finished second in a couple of races. Dawson Legate has finished third in a couple of races as well. But the winners are all on the inside. Attacked, Delightful Again, and Stanley Cartel. Those are horses that have entered the winner's circle here at Los Al.
Heart of Dynasty draws the outside post. She has experience from the outside post on debut when finishing 4th. That could be beneficial here, drawing the outside. Trial number 4, got Luxury Brand on the rail. Was a debut winner from the rail. That might be a benefit for a runner like Luxury Brand.
Yeah, Dun Ranch, Monte Rosa, Armando Cervantes. What a tremendous team they've become. This one was purchased at the Ridoso Select yearling sale for $210,000. Check and back is the mother of this apolitical Jess colt. And this horse ran at 220 yards. So gets a chance here to go 60% longer distance, something like that. So we'll see how those fires at this much longer distance. A couple of other winners here, thoughts to remember for Dr. Ed Allred, trainer Scott Willoughby, Jesus Rios Ayala, riding a lot of horses for this barn. Favorite Cartel filly out of the stakes, winner Bemuse. Hot Prodigy, a pretty good-looking colt here, ran second, first time out to Stanley Cartel. And another winner, Apolitical Reason, won by a half a length. Those is some of the names in race number 4.
And he's a first-time gelding here, Apolitical Reason. And Vulcan draws the outside post after being difficult to ride in both starts. That might help out Vulcan on the outside. Race number 5, Favorite City, was a debut winner from the rail. Gets the rail again here for Monte Rosa and his Ayala.
And you won't see many bigger price tags than Favorite City.
No.
Sold for $235,000 at the Ruidoso sale. And remember, this one is a half sister to Apolitical Pence.
And that's why you see the expensive price tag. She only won by a head, and she gets to match up against the same runner that finished second to her. That is Alice Kane, gate number 6.
Separate Heart ran third, first time out. One of a Kind finished third as well. Coney's Dynasty, we saw this one perform extremely well in the mornings. Had the bullet work with the fastest of 38 drills on April 18th. In her first out on May 6th, ran second to Market Analyst. But again, a pretty solid field all around here in trial number 5.
All right, 6th trial of the night. We're getting to the second half of the card. This is going to be an 8-horse field. 5 Bar Supreme was a debut winner. Expensive was an impressive debut winner, winning by 2 lengths.
Talk about an impressive win for Expensive. Just blew them away. And this is a pretty deep field. Just a Fuller coming off of the Kindergarten Futurity trials, where I thought ran a very solid 4th place.
Yeah.
Very impressive race there for Just a Fuller. In 5 Bar Supreme, one from along the rail there for trainer Lindolfo Diaz. Lindolfo Diaz does extremely well. Anytime he sends a horse out there, they always seem to perform really well. AJ Bat Temptation ran second, too expensive. So another rematch here in trial number 6. Actually got a chance to talk to both Jose Flores and James Glenn Jr. They both just happened to land in the same trial. So we also got a little bit of footage there of the draw of this trial as well. And we talked about how every once in a while there's a rider that has ridden more than one of these horses in these trials. This is going to happen here with Victor Salazar, and Jimmy Glenn right there gives us a little, like you said, a peek behind the curtain of what happens when such a situation occurs. So how about we start with the draw, and then we'll go talk to Jimmy Glenn Jr. and Jose Flores right after that. Jose Flores trains Expensive.
Let's do it. Here it is.
2, AJ Bad Temptation. 6 will be Gambling Lady. 4 is Oso Macho. 3 is Expensive. 7 will be Butter Homes and Garden. 8 is Optical Illusion. 1 will be 5 Bar Supreme.
And the 5.
And the 5 will be Just a Fuller. Optical Illusion gets Salazar. Butter Homes and Gardens Diego. Gambling Ladies Gasca. Just a Fuller will be Victor Salazar. Oso Macho Cervantes. Expensive will be Cruz Mendez. AJ Bad Temptation is Jose Nicasio. 5 Bar Supreme is Ayala. So I got Salazar, Diego.
Salazar has to come off the 5.
Who's writing? Jimmy?
No, I just put Henry on.
Put Henry?
Put Henry on.
I got Salazar, Diego, Gasca, Lopez, Cervantes, Mendez, Nicasio, and Ayala.
Here with trainer James Glenn Jr. and a great night of trials here on Sunday at Los Alamitos, the Ed Burke Million Trials. We'll see a lot of top stars making their first appearance in trial races. You, Jimmy, have a horse that's already run in a stakes race in Just a Fuller, running fourth in the Kindergarten Futurity, and a really, really good effort in that Futurity. Tell me about what you saw from that race from Just a Fuller.
Yeah, he's a horse. He breaks good the first jump, but they seem to get away from him a little bit. I don't know if that's just his style or if they're just a little quicker. But boy, he puts in a really strong late run and showed a lot of guts running up into a hole that really wasn't there. And so I think, yeah, the extra 50 yards and a little more experience in the first 50 yards leaving the gate, you put them two together, we could have a good night.
And me, myself, I tend to think of, okay, a horse that is finishing strong, maybe he's just physically a bigger horse, not as quick because maybe he's not as small. How is he physically?
He's not that big of a horse. He's little, but he's long, right? So he's not that tall, but he's pretty long. So his stride is pretty long. So he's able to finish pretty good.
From just development perspective, have you seen him get better as he's made a second work, or a start, and now the trials with this much experience now on?
Yeah, well, I try to go as easy as I can with them. So their first races, we try to just let them run on their own, and if they win, they do, and if they don't, it's fine. And so he ran a third. He kind of broke a little slow and closed real late, so we were happy with him, got in no trouble. Then he came back and got in a lot of trouble in his trial, but exploded late and got beat ahead and made the final. And then, like I said, in the final of the Futurity, they outfooted him, but boy, was he closing late. So.
Horse with a lot of heart. Looking forward to seeing him run on Sunday night. Be a very busy man on Sunday. Several top guns in there. Let's start with one of the most impressive ones, Jose Inexpensive, a very impressive winner first time out. How did you see that first out for this horse?
Well, he did everything real professional, I mean, he was a little bit green still out there, when he got out there by himself, he kind of just maybe paused for a little bit, but then got it going and finished off strong. So we're hoping that he got a different post today. He got more on the inside today, so we're hoping that it doesn't affect him and he does quite the same.
The time off between the debut and now the trials, very important for these young horses, right?
It is. We're hoping that their minds are still set on what we need them to do. It's just real hard. We really can't get another race in them, get another work, it's too close. So they're kind of stuck in limbo for a little bit, but hopefully, he'll have it up here in his head and don't have a change of mind and just do everything the same professional as he can.
From your horses that are going to run in the trials, anyone that you think has a chance or maybe take a step forward?
I think we have a few that have a chance. That I think we got I also like Mass Mandate. I thought he did real well in his debut. And then we got a few horses, Ricardo Ramirez, from Arizona, that were qualified at some futurity over there. So we're hoping that they do okay on their debut here. It's not easy to come from. They've only been here about 3 weeks, and we're hoping that they can maybe improve from that race over there in Arizona. The finals over there. We got a few babies that are still a little green, I think, and they might pop up and impress somebody.
Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, Professor, that was a good look there at what was going on for the draw of this specific trial. And I like how, a few jockeys kind of overlapped. And I like that James Glenn was like, put Henry on him. Let me get Henry. So he got Henry on Just a Fuller.
Yeah, there was a couple of agents there that were saying, hey, how about my horse? How about my horse?
Yeah.
Or excuse me, how about my jock? But Jimmy Glenn had mentioned there, hey, he's been doing a lot of work on this horse in the past. So let's go with Henry Reynoso Lopez, reward him this help that he's giving him. Now, Victor Salazar, he's riding a lot for trainer Paul Jones. In fact, that's who he's riding in race number 6. He's riding Optical Illusion for trainer Paul Jones, and you heard his agent Dennis Christensen saying, "Hey, he's got he's riding for Paul, so that's why he's taken off of Just a Fuller." So even though he's Just a Fuller has done more on paper and on the track, with that 4th place finish in the Kindergarten Futurity, Victor might have might be riding a lot more throughout the night for Paul Jones. So that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. And an interesting thing that this horse, like Jimmy was saying, horses kind of tend to get away from him early on. If you've seen 2 of those races in the first out, the horse hit the gate at the start. and then in the third out, he rubbed the gate, leaving. So both times, he's kind of been, which means that maybe he's leaning on the side or just kind of is breaking right away in or out. It's not like if he's striding out and then going in or out. Right away he's kind of rubbing into that gate. So that'll be something that if he can improve on with the way that he finishes races, he could be a big threat to qualify as well. And of course, what can you say about expensive? The way that he's just leaving there. And Jose Flores said, he's hesitated a little bit at the start. Are you kidding me? And he still won by 2 lengths?
I know.
He would have won by what, Jose? 4 lengths?
Because isn't he the sibling to Eye in the Sky who won his debut by like 3 lengths, right? A couple of seasons ago.
He qualified to the Ed Burke Million.
Yes, yeah. So he was trying to do better than his brother. How about that? 2-length winner for expensive. This is a very interesting trial to me. The 6th trial of the night here in this event. And isn't Justin Fuller the only horse wheeling back from the kindergarten final?
I believe that a Political Royalty is also in here. Yeah, Political Rivalry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Political
the one that
Rivalry.
scratched.
Exactly. Yeah, he qualified to the kindergarten, but was scratched. But we're gonna see him back in race number 8, trial number 8 for Heath Taylor, Keith Nelson, the KVN Corona Gelding Political Rivalry.
Here's the 7th trial. Bella Hunting draws the rear after a debut win from the outside. But we just talked to Jose Flores. He really liked how Mask Mandate took care of business there on debut.
Big win as well from Mask Mandate, winning by 1.5 lengths. And you mentioned that Junior's quarter horses likes the quirky horses. Well, this one is a quirky. My favorite cartel. They bought this one for $80,000. Some solid works. Nothing that just jumps out of the page, but definitely a talent is there, especially the way that Mass Mandate won in his first out. Here's a race that we have at Remington Park. Shipper coming in. Southern Divine, Monte Rosa using the flipping halter here. PYC Paint Your Wagon filly. This one won a trial at Remington Park. May have been the Oklahoma Futurity. I'm not quite sure what race they run in April, but it's a Futurity winner. Excuse me, a Futurity trial winner already there at Remington Park. Other horses that kind of stand out here. Bella Hunting won, defeated Just Watcher. First out, Bella Hunting by the sire Hunting Eagle, and what a huge thing it would be for that sire if Bella Hunting is able to qualify to the Ed Burke Million Futurity. Eddington, talk about sire Secret Circle, great one, winning thoroughbred. Sire Eddington, this horse has finished 3rd both outings. Teller Arizona MRL ran 2nd to Ready For It, who will be starring in trial number 1, race number 1 as well.
And on the outside is going to be Overbet out of Miss Kitty's Bar Bet, a very good race mare, and also the 8 HRH Royal Cartel, an $87,000 graduate of the Los Alamitos sequence, so for Rancho El Cabresto. All right, let's go to race number 8. 3 more trials left, counting this one. This one is going to feature just Dynasty Time from the Rail Political Rivalry, the one that qualified to the kindergarten, but was scratched out of there from gate number 1. Boardwalk, a debut winner, and then Talk About Something, who just finished 2nd to Boardwalk in her debut. So a good trial here.
Yeah, another rematch there. Boardwalk and Talk About Something. After Boardwalk finished ahead of Talk About Something, Talk About Something came back and won next out by 3/4 of a length. So definitely 2 very talented runners. But of course, Political Rivalry, 2 wins already. Debut winner by 2.5 lengths at 220 yards. You know how hard that is to do, Jose? Wow. And of course, coming back and winning his trial to the kindergarten Futurity. Political Rivalry, $80,000 purchase at the Ruidoso Select Yearling Sale. All 3 of those runners will be starting right next to each other. Political Rivalry draws post 4, Boardwalk post 5. Talk About Something post number 6.
There's 2 races left. You know what time it is? Late daily double time. Races 9 and 10. Last few trials of the night. This is going to be a field of 7 in race 9. We have 3 winners in this field. One was a debut winner. That's Dynasty in gate number 2.
Out of the gray bear, Terrific Energy, sire by FDD Dynasty. 2 great one winning names here at Los Alamitos. Terrific Energy. She has produced so many Futurity finalists, so many stakes winners as well. Dynasty winning by a head. And if I remember correctly, had a workout against another pretty high caliber runner as well from trainer Paul Jones. I think they worked together with Kevin's Wiseman. I think those two worked together, and they both went on to win their debuts. Favorite butter, if we remember, Jose Flores was mentioning how Ricardo Ramirez sent them some horses that had run in Futurity races in Arizona, Turf Paradise. There's one of them, Favorite Butter, running 6th, and did win his trial at Turf Paradise to qualify to that Futurity. There, Sarsaparilla ran 2nd. Trainer Mike Casselman in his debut. Basking also ran 2nd for Heath Taylor in her debut. A couple of other runners she's still tempting. A 3rd place finisher, first out, but they paid $190,000 for this runner. And My Kind of Lover won at 9-1 odds, first out for trainer Jaime Gomez.
Yeah, it was that might have been one of the first early races for the 2-year-olds. I know maybe it was a second weekend or something like that, but that was an early debut winner there for My Kind of Lover. So that'll be race number 9, a field of 7. The final trial. This is when the bubble time will be flash, Professor, and everybody will be hoping. Let's hope they go really slow, or let's hope we go really fast, right? Because everybody knows what they got to do to get into the final coming up into this race. We got a field of 8.
We got some good horses here as well. Cloudburst for owner Dutch Masters 3. Market Analyst for Steve Burns. This one won by a length and a half. First time out. And Next Level Up won by a nose. A hard-fought victory there for Next Level Up. Some good workout times for this one. 12 flat first work. 12-2 second work. Very, very good times for Next Level Up. So it's a group, very high quality group here to close out the night of trials. And with 10 races going, the approximate post time is not going to be too late. So they should still be flying here in race number 10. Talked to Mike Casselman about number 7, Market Analyst. And I also kind of snuck in and kind of grab some video as they were drawing this particular race. How about we show the video of the draw, and then we go and talk to Mike Casselman.
Here it is.
He's a good reason for Joe Flow. Look at her Joe Flow. Devastating Heath Taylor. BP son Jesse Monty. Favorite Nuke is Paul Jones. Cloud versus Jaime Gomez. Next on the look is Rodolfo Diaz. And Market Analyst for Mike Casselman. Two is Devastating. 4 is BP Southern Jesse. 1 look at her. 6 he's a good reason. 7 Market Analyst. 3 Favorite Nuke. 5 will be Next Level Up. And the 8 will be Cloudburst. Cloudburst gets Peinalo. Market Analyst is Cruz. He's a good reason as Cruz Mendez. BP Southern Jesse's Ayala. Next Level Up is Ayala. Favorite Nuke is Salazar. Devastating is Acacia. One look at her Pyro and Yell. Ayala.
Who stays on?
Mike Casselman, you won some $1 million races in the past with horses like Little Talks now, and lots of Bluesmen as well, right? If I remember correctly. Now you have a very exciting young runner by the name of Market Analyst.
How do you see her coming into the trials to the Ed Burke Million Futurity? You get post number 7.
Yeah, I like our post position. I'm in the last trial. Sometimes that's maybe not the best place to be, but the filly herself is doing real well. She's real smart, real easygoing. Been real happy with her. She does everything right, and she's doing real good right now. So we'll take a chance and see how we do.
I asked Jose Flores this question. The time between the debut and this race, the trial, super important for these young runners, right?
Right, yeah, and we were 3 weeks out. We had good timing. Everything worked good for us. We drew good in our first race, had no trouble, and we've drawn good in these trials. So I'm excited about her. We've schooled her at the gate, and everything's going good for her. So I feel good about her.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, Professor, just watching that replay again of her debut win, she just looked like a seasoned pro out there. She looked so professional, did everything right, finished better in the second half, which suggests these extra 50 yards should be right up her alley.
Yeah, and as Mike Casselman was saying, he was just so thrilled with the way things went that first out, because very little stress on her, right? Just a beautiful race, off to a great start, finished nicely, and defeated Connie's Dynasty, who we had talked about how fast that horse came in for her work going into this race. And no problem, market analyst was the clear winner in that race. So you're right, Jose. You would imagine that the extra distance should suit market analysts just fine. This one, a sister to Mornings with Maria. So there's already nice pedigree, nice bloodlines there as far as qualifying horses to the Futurity from this family.
Yeah, that's a look at those 10 trials for Sunday night. Lots of very talented 2-year-olds. Can't wait for those trials. And like you mentioned, the post time shouldn't be too late, given that it's a Sunday afternoon. So hopefully being drawn that late into the night won't be a factor.
Yeah, I think there's 10 races at Santa Anita on Sunday. You know that we follow the last race during the daytime track in California. So I'm not sure how many races are at Golden Gable. We'll be about 35 minutes after that last race, where there's Santa Anita or Golden Gate, and we'll get started right away with those trials. So it should be a great night. Some big stars right off the bat racing, and some really nice, impressive runners like market analysts in the final races as well. So looking forward to a great night of trials for a very, very important race, the Ed Burke Million.
All right, Professor, when we started the show, actually when I started the segment with Mike Wrona, he was wearing a Manchester jersey, so we got talking about soccer. And I mentioned AJ was also wearing his jersey. Look at him wearing a Chivas jersey. Here, I'll show it off. Show it off, AJ.
Nice.
There it is. Hi, AJ. Say hi.
Hey,
That's a friend right there.
Oh,
look at him. So he's wearing
we
his
got a
Chivas
lot of
jersey.
yeah. Perfect. A lot of writers are big Chivas fans as well. So there you go, AJ. Awesome. They're in the final, right?
Yeah, they're playing game 1 of the 2-game final starting today. We're recording this on Thursday, so tonight at 7 p.m., Chivas is taking on Tigres. And I know a lot of our viewers are Chivas fans back in the barn area. So AJ, thanks to the bankroll manager, is a Chivas fan. I'm a Necaxa fan, by the way.
Excellent.
But we'll let him be a Chivas fan for today. Say bye.
That's after they defeated America. I know that, right? That was
the household was going crazy. Yeah. So after defeating America, that was already a win for the Chivas aficionados.
Perfect. And I know Michael's going to be super excited because the FA Cup final, right? It's going to be Man United versus Manchester City. And Manchester City is probably the top team in Europe right now. And now they're going to clash in the FA Cup final. I believe that, I'm not sure exactly where that is. Could be next week, something like that. But I know that Michael Wrona is going to be super pumped to watch that game.
All right. So I got somebody nudging at me at my stomach. I don't know if you can see him, but this is Noodles was coming. Look at him. Noodles was over here nudging at me.
There he is.
So there's Noodles. And I know in the Professor G household, we have a Rolo. Well, we have Noodles here at home, and he wanted to join the party as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Get up. Oh,
Excellent.
You're too
All
big
right.
to enter
So
in the
you had a live audience there.
I did. I have a live studio
Jose, you had a
audience.
live
We had
audience as you were recording.
AJ and Noodles crashing the show here today. All right. Well, that was great, Professor. Thank you for letting us some behind the scenes there. How these trials are drawn is always interesting to kind of see the vantage point, and I enjoyed seeing the reaction of Mike Casselman and some of the connections there, as Jose Flores had quite a few. He was the one drawing all the names, so it's good to have some of that behind scenes look at how some of these races are drawn.
Absolutely, Jose. So it's going to be a fun night. First post on Saturday, by the way, is 6:05 p.m. 10 races on that card. The first allowance race in race 10, Elena Andrade, who just is winning. She's won 4 out of her last 5 starts. She is on a roll. So let's see if she can make it 5 out of 6 starters here on Saturday night with Disruptor in the 10th race. And then we have the great night of Ed Burke Million Trials, Jose.
Sounds like a great weekend of racing, Professor. Let's catch up some sleep and studying on these Sunday trials. And I'll see you this weekend there at Los Al.
Thank you so much, Jose. We'll see you on Saturday night.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick six carryover or the $10,000 pick six promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, including a $274,000 pool on March 11th and a $205,000 pool on January 7th. The traditional $2 pick six, a great bet, a great deal, big time wagering opportunities, always at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with one of the biggest nights of the year on Sunday, May 28th. It's the trials to the Ed Burke Million Futurity, featuring the top juveniles in quarter horse racing. And what a great lineup of impressive young runners led by recent winners, Favorite City, Boardwalk, Expensive, Stanley Cartel, and so many more. The Ed Burke Million Trials, Sunday, May 28th. The best of quarter horse racing, always at Los Alamitos.
Burns Ranch is proud to welcome 2-time AQHA champion Golden Boy. He joins multiple stakes winner MP Shining, whose first crop are yearlings, and California champion Middle Error, with foals arriving this year. Proven stallions include Separate Interest, off to a good start in 23.
Delight Interest trying to fend him off. Delight Interest comes through in the clutch.
And Fly Through the Fire, a top 3 ranked second crop sire. Let Burns Ranch put you in the game.